Welcome back to podcast 57 of 2020. I'm your host, Kiev O'Neill. You can follow me on Twitter at OBKiev. Follow us at the OddsBreakers and follow us on social media / the OddsBreakers. This episode is being brought to you by jazzsports.ag. For a 50% sign-up bonus, please visit Jazz Sports and use the promo code OddsBreakers. Terms and conditions apply. If you'd like to help us out with our costs and sponsor the podcast and the website, we'd love to help you out. Please visit theoddsbreakers.com, click shop, and become a member. For $17.99 a month, you can get my plays and premium plays before the line moves. If nothing else, please visit theoddsbreakers.com and become a free picks newsletter subscriber. My friends, I'm still on vacation in San Diego. The weather has been fantastic. High 70s, probably high 60s at night. Just amazing weather. Zero rain. But somehow, I got sunburn yesterday. I'm wondering, how did that happen? I've been out in the sun every single freaking day, and I literally got sunburn just because I didn't put anything on the first hour. Well, it turns out where I thought I had a base tan, it turned out I was as white as the inside of a clam, and not wearing suntan lotion for an hour is what did me in. I mean, I'm not terribly burnt, but I can certainly feel it. It affected my sleep a little bit. Also turns out the suntan lotion that I've been using was my kid's suntan lotion, which is like SPF 250,000 or something like that. And that's why I didn't get a base tan. But hey, lessons are learned, and hopefully the burn will turn into tan today because I plan on hitting the sun after this podcast.
Oh, idiot.
The reason that I'm so quiet right now is because it's early in the morning. Didn't want to wake up the family, but I was able to find some great plays for you guys, both in college and the NFL football. And I'm also going to go over some sharp money movement. Let's get into it right away. We're looking at a little bit of college football here first. Louisville versus Georgia Tech for your Friday night. Georgia Tech is a home dog plus 4.5 points. Total on this game is 61. Louisville still isn't a good team and shouldn't be laying over 3 points to anyone on the road in the ACC, in my opinion. Both of these teams are 1-2 and played a medium-type schedule. Louisville has a positive 0.23 net yards per play, and Georgia Tech has a positive 0.11 net yards per play. Both teams have a big look-ahead situation. Tech has Clemson on deck, and Louisville has Notre Dame on deck. All right? So, no real advantage there, but there is a home field advantage here for Georgia Tech. I can easily see Tech covering this one in a lot closer game. That's why I'm going to take the home dog here with Georgia Tech plus 4.5, and I think they actually might win outright. Next game, we have Texas Tech versus Iowa State. Iowa State's laying 12.5 points. The total on this is 64.5. Iowa State is in a huge letdown spot after beating Oklahoma outright at home. This could mean two things. You can get a bad offense out of Iowa State, or you can possibly get a bad defense. The good news is that Texas Tech quarterback Alan Bowman might not be playing this game due to an injury, which could slow down the Texas Tech high-powered offense. Another thing that could slow things down is that Iowa State plays a slow game. They don't want to get into any shootouts, and they prefer to run the ball. The Cyclones rank fourth slowest team so far at 60 offensive plays per game. I can see a much more methodical game played here, and this total is too high. We're going to take Texas Tech Iowa State under 64.5, and this is going to be a 2.5 star premium play.
And so then I got a call from him saying we don't have to worry about money no more. And I said, that's good. One less thing.
Next game, we have FAU versus Southern Miss. Southern Miss is a home dog plus 2.5. Over under is 58 points. This number was bought down too low, in my opinion. It was at 6. While I do not love the coach here in Willie Taggart for FAU, Southern Miss is a pretty bad team. All right. The Eagles allowed over 60 points to Tulane at home a few weeks back. FAU is coming off of a great season last year, but had to replace some good amount of talent and production. The Owls only have one game under their belt, but it was a victory nonetheless versus Charlotte, who is better than the Golden Eagles. FAU is 0.3 net yards per play, and Southern Miss is minus 0.64, playing an easy schedule. I have to take this number for FAU because I have them at minus 4.5, and that's giving Southern Miss 2 points for home field. Going to take the Owls minus 2.5, 1.5 star premium shared play.
I'm sorry that people are so jealous of me, but I can't help it that I'm popular.
Now on to the No Fun League. We're going to look at the Arizona versus New York Jets, plus 6.5 at home, over-unders 47. The Jets are bad, and when I say bad, they're the worst team in the NFL. I'm not sure if their coach, Adam Gase, survives much longer. It's not just the fact that they commit the most personal fouls or just having a 14-point average loss margin. They just look disorganized, and they don't really seem to care about football. Another big problem for them is that their quarterback, Sam Darnold, is banged up. His shoulder's hurting. Joe Flacco might have to come in to be the starter, and he's pretty old, and we know how bad Joe Flacco is. The good news for the Jets, they at least get some guys back from IR like Le'Veon Bell, Blake Cashman, and Denzel Mims, but I don't think that's enough. The Cardinals are hungry after suffering 2-game losing streak at home. This is somewhat of a must-win for the Cardinals, and being that they have the Cowboys on deck here, I expect a big effort in this game. The Cardinals, they should be able to get their running game going with Kenyon Drake against the bad Jets D. They should also be able to complement with the play action where Murray can just take off running instead of passing the ball. I have the Cardinals an 8.5 point favorite here, and they should be able to cover the minus 6.5. Arizona, minus 6.5, 2-star premium shared play.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Next, we have the Carolina Panthers versus Atlanta. Atlanta's laying 1.5 points at home. The total on this is 54. This 0-4 Atlanta team is desperate, and I still think that they're better than Carolina on a neutral field and as a whole. Now that they're at home, this is the game they get some things right. The Falcons owned the Panthers last year, winning both games by double digits. I expect somewhat the same here. Even with Julio being banged up all year, the Falcons are 8th in yards per play at 396 to Carolina's 390. Sorry, yards per game is what I'm trying to say. Now, I do think the Panthers are better than people thought, going to LA Chargers and winning, and then going to Arizona and winning. Mike Davis seems like a very nice fit, replacing an injured Christian McCaffrey. But there's one thing that sticks out the most to me when I'm looking at these games. Atlanta has had a much harder schedule than Carolina. Atlanta's schedule ranks 3rd on Jeff Sagarin, while the Panthers rank 15th. Carolina was able to surprise some teams, but they'll be facing a team similar to the Raiders this week. And they lost that game outright at home. I like Atlanta here as the short home favorite, under 3. Take them minus 1.5, 2-star premium shared play. The last one we have is Las Vegas versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs minus 13. Total on this is 56.5. They pulled this game a little bit because Mahomes hugged Stephon Gilmore, and Gilmore just tested positive for COVID, so there's some uncertainty here this game. The Raiders, on the other hand, must perform type spot after losing 2 in a row, and they are kind of bad losses. Las Vegas has been smitten by some injuries to some key players, but I do expect that Henry Ruggs should be back along with some guys on D. The Raiders are a net negative 0.4 yards per play. The Chiefs are only a positive 0.5 yards per play at this point. I expected the Chiefs to be larger than that, more like 1 yard per play. So being that this is a 13-point spread, it seems a little bit big for a division game. My power ratings have the Chiefs by 10.25 points. So this spread, in my opinion, is a little too big. I'm going to take the Raiders here in a must-perform type spot, plus 13, and I'm going to give it 2 stars. All right, we are 2-2 in teasers so far this year, but we are going to do our refuse to lose teaser. We're going to tease the Saints down to -1.5, hosting the Chargers, and we're going to tease the Steelers down to -1, hosting the Eagles, 2-star premium shared play. Finally, we're going to give out our bow to the gambling gods parlay. It's 1-1 so far, 8 legs. It pays out 6.6 to 1. We're going to go Alabama -2,000, TCU -305, Liberty -1,050, Notre Dame -1,400, Charlotte -145, Florida Atlantic, which I gave out earlier, -131, Pittsburgh Steelers -325, and the Seattle Seahawks -315. Going to do that for 1 star, my friends. Not a premium play, but hopefully we can hit this baby and have a little bit of fun.
I reckon you know a lot about cyberspace. You ever come across anything like time travel?
And now it is time for
The Sharp Side of the Force.
The Sharp Side Force is being brought to you by uwager.eu. For a 50% sign-up bonus, please visit uwager and use the promo code OddsBreakers. Starting with college football, sharp money on, and this is as of Wednesday afternoon, Georgia Tech from +6.5 to +4.5, hosting Louisville. 38% of the tickets on Georgia Tech, 99% of the money. Sharp money on Virginia Tech, +5.5 at North Carolina. 48% of the tickets on Virginia Tech, 85% of the money. Sharp money on Oklahoma, -1.5 to -2.5 versus Texas. The Red River rivalry, 33% of the tickets on Oklahoma, 84% of the money. Sharp money on LSU, -13 at Missouri. 1% of the tickets on LSU, 84% of the money. Sounds like one big place hit it. Texas A&M +7 hosting Florida. 21% of the tickets on A&M, 92% of the money. Sharp money on Tennessee +14 to +13 at Georgia. 49% of the tickets on Tennessee, 89% of the money. I missed this one. I should have took Tennessee here. Sharp money on Pitt -5 at Boston College. 50% of the tickets on Pitt, 91% of the money. This one looks interesting. Sharp money on Temple from pick to -3 at Navy. Dual action, 86% of the tickets on Temple, 91% of the money. Sharp money on Marshall, -4 to -6 at Western Kentucky. Dual action, 74% of the tickets on Marshall, 96% of the money. Sharp money on Miami, +15 to +14 versus Clemson. Dual action, 73% of the tickets on Miami, 99% of the money. By the way, I cannot wait to watch this game. I still don't know what I'm going to do with it, but you think that Clemson should blow them out, and there's going to be a lot of public money on Miami. But I am high on Miami this year. My number is actually 12 points. Somebody asked me about this last week. Sharp money on Coastal Carolina, +7.5 to +7 at Louisiana. Dual action, 69% of the tickets on Coastal, 97% of the money. Sharp college totals. Tulane versus Houston, under 59.5, 31% of the tickets on the under, 73% of the money is on the under. Sharp Carolina versus Vanderbilt, under 48.5, all the way down to 41.5. 63% of the tickets on the under, but 96% of the money's on the under. Sharp money on Duke versus Syracuse, over 51. 56% of the tickets on the over, 94% of the money. Sharp money on FAU versus Southern Miss, under 63.5 to 57.5. 33% of the tickets on the under, 75% of the money. Sharp money on K-State versus TCU, under 54.5 to 50.5. 46% of the tickets on the under, 82% of the money. Sharp money on Alabama versus Ole Miss, over 70. 37% of the tickets on, the over and 69% of the money. Sharp NFL. Sharp money on the Chicago Bears plus 5.5 to plus 3.5. 19% of the tickets on the Bears, but 89% of the money's on the Bears. There's lots of Bucks injuries out there, but in my opinion, this game has a lot of variance. Is Foles going to play well? If so, the Bears should be a 3-point dog. If he's not going to play well, they should be a 7-point dog almost, maybe 6.5-point dog. Really, who knows this game? The Bears played so bad last game. Sharp money on the Bengals, plus 13 at the Ravens, 58% of the tickets on the Bengals, 89% of the money's on the Bengals. Sharp money on the Panthers, plus 3 to plus 1 at the Falcons, 62% of the money is tickets is on the Panthers, 84% of the money on the Panthers. Sharp money on the Jets, plus 7 hosting the Cardinals, 11% of the tickets on the Jets, 89% of the money is on the Jets. Ain't my money. Sharp money on the Jaguars, plus 6.5 at the Texans, 38% of the tickets on the Jags, 95% of the money's on the Jags. Sharp money on the Broncos, plus 8 at the Patriots, 63% of the tickets on the Broncos, 83% of the money on the Broncos. Cam is probably not playing. Sharp money on the Browns, plus 2.5 to plus 2, hosting the Colts. 57% of the tickets on the Browns, 89% of the money's on the Browns. Sharp money on the Vikings, plus 7 at the Seahawks. 28% of the tickets on the Vikings and 97% of the money is on the Vikings. Sharp money on the Chargers, plus 7.5 at the Saints. 39% of the tickets on the Chargers, 92% of the money. Sharp NFL totals, Eagles versus Steelers, under 46 to 43.5. 58% of the tickets are on the under, and 98% of the money's on the under. We are on that, if you remember from earlier this week. Sharp money on the Colts versus Browns, over 46 to 47. 47% of the tickets are on the over, and 87% of the money is on the over. My friends, that's all the time we have. Sorry for the short podcast this week. It will be back to normal with guests next week. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. Hope you win all your bets. Have a blast watching the games. Stay safe and go get some winners.